Howdy, folks, and welcome to another episode of In the Mix. I am your host, Matthew Eric White. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I had a whole plan today scheduled and for how this episode was going to go in my eyes, and a wrench has been thrown in it because I woke up to the news this morning that the legendary actor, director, producer, and humanitarian Robert Redford passed away at the age of 89 years old today. I know it's weird to say that it feels like someone goes too soon at 89, but he felt so timeless as a movie star and as a legend that I kind of just felt like he would always be around. So it's very weird to have that news hit your phone this morning. So I wanted to share my one impactful Robert Redford story that he wasn't even a part of, didn't even know about, but it changed my viewpoint of cinema for the rest of my life. My family and I had this tradition for a long time when I was living close to Hollywood Boulevard, where my family would purchase tickets to the Turner Classic Movies Film Festival. Now, if you don't know what this is, Turner Classic Movies, you probably know it as the TV channel that your grandpa watches, and you see black and white and immediately go to the bathroom because you don't want to be around it anymore. But Turner Classic Movies is a wonderful company who held this giant film festival where all the most legendary theaters in Hollywood, the TCL Chinese Theater, the Egyptian, they would rent out their spaces for this film festival and only show some of the most classic films ever created. I mean, that film festival granted me the opportunity to see His Girl Friday for the first time. I saw Strangers on a Train for the first time. I saw Birds for the first time in theaters. Like, this festival really opened my eyes to some of the best classic movies, and I got to do it in the movie-going experience. This particular year, my family and I went, the main film, the theme of the festival that year, was Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, a film I had never seen in my life. I knew nothing about it. This is before I knew anything about Paul Newman or Robert Redford, and I had zero interest in going. But because it was the main film of the festival, that was the film they would be showing at the Chinese Theater, the legendary Chinese Theater where all of the Hollywood movies premiere. That was the film they're going to be showing. I saw When Harry Met Sally at that theater as well, a different year. So this was a big deal. This was going to be a big deal. So my parents were like, trust me, you got to go watch it. We'll be in theaters. It'll be great. If you've never seen the movie, turn this off. Go watch it right now. It's one of the greatest pieces of cinema ever created. It's my favorite movie of all time. I was granted the opportunity to sit for 100 minutes in this theater, packed to the house with true fans of this movie. It felt like an experience of like going to see Avengers Endgame in theaters. Like, every joke landed at 1,000. Every moment of drama, people were waiting with bated breath. It was one of the coolest experiences ever, and it's part of the reason I know for a fact why I loved that movie so much. Not only did it reignite my love for the movie-going experience, it introduced me to the legend who became Robert Redford. Oh my God. Robert Redford looks up from his hat at that poker table with that beautiful sepia filter on the lens before we've switched into real color. And oh my God, you knew he was a movie star immediately. I mean, he came from theater into Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. My favorite anecdote I ever heard about that film, because I wrote my final paper in film school on this movie. I was obsessed with it. But my favorite story is there's a scene where Robert Redford is running on the top of a train. It's this little stunt where they're about to take over and rob the train. And he's running on the top of it, jumping between train cars. The story goes that Paul Newman was not there that day on set. He showed up the next day and he heard about what Robert Redford had done. Paul Newman grabbed Robert Redford the next day and he said, "Don't you ever do that again." And Robert, being a young actor just coming from theater, was like, what? They asked me to do the stunt and I wanted to do the stunt. And Paul Newman was like, I don't give a shit what they ask you. You are the second lead of this movie. If you get injured, production shuts down, all these people lose their jobs, and we lose a shit ton of money. Do not ever put yourself in that position again, which was a wonderful learning lesson, that story, for all young actors out there. Because as a young actor, I know for a fact, if you tell me to do something, any stunt, anything, I'm doing it. I'm in. I'm a team player. I want to do whatever. But you learn that sometimes being the team player doesn't mean being willing to do everything. Because if you can't do something properly, if you can't do a stunt and you tell people that you can and you injure yourself or hurt yourself, you end up becoming a liability to production, not just an asset. So I love that story. That's one of my favorite anecdotes. That movie changed my life forever. Robert Redford was an absolute legend. He was the blueprint of what it means to be an actor in this industry, of what it means to be a person in this industry with his humanitarian work, while he was also producing, directing, and acting. He is the man, the myth, the legend. And I know it's weird to say someone goes too early at 89 years old, but fuck, does it feel like he went too early. He may not be with us physically anymore, but he is timeless in every movie he left behind. So, if you are a young actor watching this, turn off this goddamn podcast and go do your deep dive on Robert Redford's work. It will only make you better because that is the man you study. Robert Redford, we miss you. We love you. Thank you. And now back to our regularly scheduled programming. The Emmys was this week. Hey! Some of the top stories from the Emmys. The TV show limited series The Studio from Apple TV took home a crap ton of hardware. Is there anything more Hollywood than a TV show about Hollywood winning all the Hollywood awards at a Hollywood award show that took place in Hollywood, California? I don't think so. Also, I haven't seen the show yet, but it looks great. Every single person I've talked to said it was wonderful. It was really great to see that whole production team kicking butt. Congrats to all of them. The TV show The Pitt won for Best Drama Series, as well as their lead actor, Noah Wyle, winning for Best Dramatic Actor. Fun fact, I actually producer sessioned and screen tested for that TV show. Got to meet Noah Wyle. He's the kindest man I've ever met. Spent 20 minutes working with him. He's unbelievable. Did not get the show. I don't know if you have seen the show. I'm not in it. And I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter at all about that, especially after they won everything. As I'm sitting in my apartment, sweating, doing a podcast that nobody's watching. The show went for about 3.5 hours. Well, 3 hours, but 3.5 for me because I had to pause the TV when Malin Ackerman and Brittany Snow came on and I stared at it for 30 minutes. God, they're gorgeous. I also get very confused at the Emmys or at all award shows. I think celebrities take it as like, let me wear some of the oddest outfits I've ever seen in my life. I mean, you guys are already some of the most beautiful people on the planet. Why are you like trying all this weird stuff for designers? I mean, it's probably brand deals or anything, but like, I mean, Jenna Ortega came out wearing like a stained glass window. I got on my knees and started praying. I thought I was in church. I've done a couple carpets and I remember someone tried to put me in a blazer that had sparkles on it. And I was like, I can't pull anything else off other than a normal clean cut suit. Like that's just how I roll always through and through. So that might be why I'm not an A-lister. Fuck. The big hot story of the night, actor Owen Cooper at 15 years old became the youngest male actor to win an Emmy. Now, I have not seen Adolescence, the performance he won in, but I watched his speech. I'm a fan of that kid for the rest of his career. That guy, oh my God, he's 15 years old. He's 15 years old up and he's going up there with so much composure. And he's elegant and he's kind and he's grateful. God almighty, that's so important that I see in these young actors. Like, there are some actors out there that seem a little ungrateful sometimes when they hit that level of success so quickly. And I don't think it's on purpose. I just think it's because they don't know how to handle it. But at his age of 15 years old, to go up there and recognize, oh my God, I've dreamed about this. I'm grateful to be here. And he's at the start of his career. This kid is he is set. He's going to start building this career. He's going to go through highs and lows. But to start there with that much recognition for his performance and for him to realize how rare that is. I'm a fan of his forever. Go watch his speech if you haven't seen it. He's awesome. Owen Cooper, congratulations. You're the man. I can't wait to see what you do next in this career. And of course, his top story of the night, Stephen Colbert wins an Emmy for Best Talk Show despite it being announced that his TV show would be canceled in 2026, which means you can expect his podcast to come out mid-year 2026. I was actually very excited to see his speech because Stephen Colbert has become relatively controversial, I guess, and it's probably just because he has become more political, which always makes people controversial. But to see him go up there in unity with his team after they've had such a hardship of getting canceled and taking heat online, it was really nice to see so much optimism and excitement because we all know he's not going anywhere. Yeah, that show might be done, but he's not done. He's been a staple in performance and in talk show history forever. My introduction to the political world, believe it or not, was the Colbert Report. I stayed up late and watched it on my phone as my parents told me to go to bed, and I would hide it under my pillow. That's what I would watch. That was my first introduction. I was out there regurgitating the bits he did on whatever was going on in the Obama administration or whatever. I didn't know what I was talking about. I just thought it was funny. So I've been a fan of his for a very long time. I'm very curious what I say the podcast thing is a joke, but I mean, Conan did a podcast. That's what Conan's still doing. And then he's doing his variety show. I wonder if Steven will go back to something a little more like the Daily Show where he started, where maybe he'll do some more remotes rather than just behind the desk. But we'll see. Congratulations to the whole team over on the Colbert Show. We're really excited to see what you guys do next. See all this optimism? How nice is that? What I really liked about the Emmys this year was it reminded me of what award shows used to be in Hollywood a little bit. We went through this stint where we didn't have hosts for things. We wouldn't have hosts for award shows or for events because, well, what happened is honestly the Kevin Hart thing happened with the Oscars where people tried to cancel him after he was announced he was going to be on the Oscars. And then everyone was terrified to host things because they were worried about being canceled. That's kind of past now. People are a little less worried about that. And we're going back to the ways it used to be because I think people realize how important a host really is, how important it is to have someone there who their sole job is to make everybody else look good. That is what a host's job is. Every single host I've seen who's done a good job or hosts that I've seen that I don't think do so well, my one indicator is how good do you make the people look around you? Because that's your only job. Yes, you want to be funny. Yes, you want to be comical. But at the very end of the day, if every joke fails and you can't get a laugh, but you made every single person around you look good, you've done your job. You've done your job. And that was hosting was my first love in the entertainment industry. I watched The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and that was the first thing I ever wanted to do. And then that introduced me to the entertainment industry, introduced me to acting, and now here I am hosting my own show, whether there's nobody out there watching or not. There's something so powerful about being here, giving people a platform, giving people an opportunity to promote themselves. And that is what those shows are for. So I'm really excited and very happy. Nate Bargatze did an awesome job. I loved the bit he did with donating to the Boys and Girls Club. And if speeches went over 45 seconds, they would remove from the donation. I thought it was a really good bit. So I'm excited. Award shows are coming back. Hosts are coming back. That whole entire art craft of hosting is being recognized a little more again. And it's evolving and it's changing. So all in all, I loved the Emmys. I thought it was great. Every speech was impactful. No one got too political. No one got too polarizing. Everyone stayed very happy and optimistic. And that's what that show is for. You know, those shows are for us, the American public, and people to forget about the problems of today and tomorrow and watch our entertainers that we love so much entertain and be excited and happy to be receiving accolades for the art they love so much. So congratulations to all of our winners, all of our nominees. The show killed it. I really enjoyed watching it. This is completely unrelated to the Emmys, but Michael Caine is set to return to acting in Vin Diesel's film, The Last Witch Hunter 2. The highly anticipated Last Witch Hunter 2. The second version of The Last Witch Hunter. Because the last one, the first time, wasn't enough. That's the movie legendary Oscar-winning actor Michael Caine is returning to acting in. The Last Witch Hunter 2. If that doesn't tell you how expensive Medicare has become, I don't know what does. Dwayne Johnson has been hunting down heavier acting roles lately with his new role in Benny Safdie's film, The Smashing Machine. I've seen the trailer. It looks really good. He's also set to star in a new Martin Scorsese film where he plays a Hawaiian mob boss, if I'm not mistaken. He seems to be really on a hunt for deeper, more dramatic roles where he doesn't only have to wear a gray t-shirt. I'm really excited because I have a lot of people who say, oh, well, Dwayne Johnson just does one thing. He's not a good actor. I think that's complete and utter bullshit. I saw him in that TV show Ballers, and God, he just had something in that whole entire TV show that I knew that he had something deeper in him, and he just probably wasn't getting the opportunities he wanted to get to do those deeper, darker, more exciting things. So The Smashing Machine is supposed to be his introduction. He's already getting Oscar nom talk, which is so cool. And he's going to be starring alongside Emily Blunt, who we all know is the biggest powerhouse actress in Hollywood. So if there's anyone to be paired up with to bring your A game, it's that girl. So I'll be definitely going to see it in theaters. And I recommend everyone go see more movies in theaters. I've been forcing myself. I know it's so easy to watch them in your house or in your room or whatever, but there's just nothing like seeing a movie in theaters. It's why Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid was so impactful for me. Netflix aired the highly anticipated boxing match of Canelo versus Crawford. It brought in 41.4 million viewers, and 40 million of those viewers, I'm pretty sure, were just in the bar I was at. Where does a guy got to go to play some pool by himself? I was never really big into boxing, but then I discovered I was a straight white man living in Orange County, so if I wanted to make any friends, I would have to learn how to pretend to like boxing. It's pretty much a starter kit. Once you get down to Orange County, you have to buy a Bass Pro Shop hat, turn it sideways, buy a pair of Pit Vipers, and start watching boxing. And take jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai. It's one of those two. Hey, nothing like fighting a guy on your back with your legs kicked up, right? That's how my sister used to fight when she was a kid. Folks, we all know this show is not political, and I don't want to get at all political, but I know this week has been absolutely crazy for everyone, and the internet has kind of exploded and been yelling at each other. But this show has been a really great opportunity for me to remember why I love the entertainment industry so much. It's because I have always truly believed that my job, my only job in the entertainment industry, is to bring joy to you guys and remind you of the good and the fun and bringing smiles to your faces and make you forget about all the shit that's going on in the real world. So whether you're watching this or not, I hope you guys do, because I just want this to be a solace for all of you to take a beat, take a breath, and remember that sometimes it's okay to not get so serious. Sometimes it's okay to talk like an idiot and listen to me spew fun and joy. So if you're out there listening, I'm wishing you nothing but love, wishing you nothing but the best. I hope I brought a smile to your face today. Go see the movies in theaters. If Robert Redford taught me anything, it's that. Get off your ass, stop watching your streaming for just today, and go watch something in the theaters. Folks, thanks so much for tuning in to In the Mix. I, of course, am your host, Matthew Eric White. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon.